Hello, today's topic is pre-learning skill at pre-primary level. So in this we are going to discuss what is pre-learning skill, why it is important, activity as per pre-primary level, and sample of education program in pre-learning skill. So let us understand what is pre-learning skills. Pre-learning skills involve three pre-R's, that is pre-reading, pre-writing, and pre-arithmetics. So what is pre-reading skills? As you know that pre-reading skill, the child must have awareness of phonics, identification of letters, matching of letters, or pointing out the letters. That is all pre-reading skills. Pre-writing skills, like the child must know joining the dot, tracing, copying, etc. These are all pre-writing skills. And pre-arithmetic is child must have a rote learning, he must do meaningful counting, he must identify the numbers. These are all pre-arithmetic. There are a lot of other based on the topic. So these are a few examples of pre-learning skills. So pre-learning skills are a part of cognitive development. Yes, it is part of cognitive development. Without cognitive development, no child can achieve any task. So young children with disability, they have a limited cognition. So if they achieve this, if they develop these skills, they will have a better chance of succeeding later at school and carry the skills with them as they grow older. So that's why pre-learning skill is very important. Breaking topic areas down their smallest component and rebuilding it is the best way to teach a pre-learning skills. You cannot indulge at a time, so you need to break down the objective to make the child learn. Like, at least the child must understand the basic knowledge. Basic knowledge is better than no knowledge. So it's always better you try to teach the prerequisite and then you move to the next level. That's what we are talking about. That's what prerequisite means. So pre-academic is equal to pre-learning skills. Now let us understand the importance of pre-learning skills. So pre-learning task ensures that learners are directly involved in the planning process. That means you must involve the student in your planning process. Then only you will be able to identify whether the child has some skills, that is what learner already know, what misconception they have against the topic, whether the content is interested to them or not. So always you involve the child in the planning process. You plan your learning task very well. Teachers should take off the account, because once you identify the outcome of the pre-learning task, it will make you to develop the challenger activity in future, challenge activities, that means more difficult activities. It helps the teacher to recognize what transferable skills learners have already developed and how they apply in the new level of activity, whether the child is confident or not. Pre-learning tasks could take many different forms and can last for long as the shorter as required. So pre-learning tasks could it may retain for the longer time as well as the shorter. As you know, the children with intellectual disability have a limited cognition. It is important because it helps to understand the child in the form of written task, oral, mind mapping. This is very good concept to make the child learn pre-learning skills or pre-academic skills. Now let us see some activity of pre-learning skills. These are the activity which I have noted. There are more than this, so you can just come with your own creativity and you can write. For example, which one has more? This is like to understand more or less concept. So bowl with 3 grapes and a plate with 5 grapes. So you have to ask which whether the bowl has a more or plate has a more grapes. Likewise, simple addition activity, simple subtraction activity. Then you have a recognize letter of alphabet, recognize own name, read simple words, copy letters, simple words, or copy own name. These are all pre-learning skill where the child have to learn before he move to the primary classes. So that's why pre-learning skills plays a major role in developing the those skills, pre-academic skills. Now let us understand the sample of education program in learning skill. There are different kind of educational program you would have seen and wherever you are working there are different modalities and models which even you can see, but this is just an example to make you understand what are the contents available, what are the important contents will be there in the educational program when you plan. See here in the domain area I have selected pre-learning skills. That is my major subject. This is my major subject or domain, and pre-writing skill is my subcategory of my domain pre-learning skills. And this is my objective where I have taken he will be able to copy the components from A to Z whenever ask him to do with 80% of accuracy. This is my expectation, what I am looking for. And whenever you write this objective you need to remember the 5 components, that is your condition, behavior, B for behavior, then your content, criteria, and duration. Now duration you can see here, it is for 2 months. So whenever you prepare, make sure these 5 things, 5 components are there. Then you are going to find out the current level. Here the child is able to follow the instruction and trying to copy few letters. He is not able to copy whole the letter, as my topic is copying the alphabet. He's just able to try to modulate like this, okay, or somewhere, but he requires a prompt, but not 100%, so at least I want 80% the child to develop. So this particular objective I will be teaching in the self-contained classroom or a resource room, or sometime in the mainstream as well. The responsible person success criteria must match to your the expectation. That means if it is 80%, your success criteria must be again 80%. Then strategy, accommodation, and modification, individual teaching and learning. This is very, very important. Now see, this can be also prepared for the small homogeneous group and also for the individual. So in my individual teaching learning I will be planning what kind of time, what kind of activity I have to give, who will be the responsible person at home. So all these things I will be mentioning, and I will show a drawn alphabets on the paper to copy. I will use a workbook of letters, then physical prompt anyways I will give, because to rule out this problem. And organizational timeline, what will be my timeline in a day, how many time I am going to focus these objective. And use of ICT, this is very, very important. Use of ICT is very, very important because this helps the child to visualize each and every letter with the sound, so that he retain those sounds in his mind. And then evaluation part, if the child achieve this objective, then you have to tick here. If he did not achieve, then tick here, and when you have evaluated this. So this is very, very important. This is very simple to plan and very simple to understand. In a similar way you can do it with other activity as well. So I think you have understood how to plan the educational program in pre-learning skills. So I think I must end up now. So we will see the next time. Thank you.